Hi and welcome to the channel. In this video I'll be talking about the shared ownership selling process in England, UK. So we just sold our shared ownership property. We bought it in 2014, so we'd been living there for just over 6 years. Just as buying the property was a first-time experience, so was selling it, so it was a learning curve for us, and it only seemed right to share this information in case it would be helpful for you. We've seen all sorts of scare stories about people having difficulties in selling shared ownership properties or feeling stuck in them, but in reality it wasn't that difficult for us. Each sale process is subject to your lease, housing association and current property laws, so this is our individual experience I'm talking about. This was the process. Firstly, application, then photo shoot and marketing, viewings, finding a solicitor, and completion. If you already know some of the details involved, you can skip to the relevant point, but if this is new to you, I'd recommend watching the whole video. So let's start with the application. Firstly, we contacted our housing association and made inquiries about reselling the property. In response, we received a resale instruction form and were asked for an energy performance certificate, a certified proof of address and ID, and RICS approved survey valuation. It took us a couple of weeks to collate the required documents due to the availability of the surveyor. The resale instruction form required us to give our reason for selling, what works had been done, our original purchase price, date of purchase, and percentage share we were selling. The share you sell is simply the percentage share you've bought. If you have staircased, i.e. bought more percentage of the property over time, then you sell the percentage including that. We were given the choice of selling either through the housing association or through another independent company called a shared ownership nomination service provider. We chose to go through the independent company because they market the property far wider than the housing association, and they also conduct viewings and arrange professional photography. The Energy Performance Certificate, or EPC, details how well your property uses energy. It's valid for 10 years at a time, and you're provided this when you purchase the property, but you need to check the validity in case it needs renewing. The certified proof of home address for us had to be 2 different documents, a bill and a bank statement each. The certified proof of ID could have been a passport or a driver's license. Our documents were certified by a senior manager at work, but you should be told in your case who can do this and what they need to write. We also needed a property valuation by an RICS surveyor. You can find one in the link in the description below. Remember, just as it is with purchasing a shared ownership, the selling price is not open for offers. It is a fixed price based on the RICS surveyor's valuation at that time, so it could have gone up in value or it may have gone down in value. On to photo shoot and marketing. 3 weeks from submitting the initial documentation, the photography visit took place. This took about 30 minutes. And when it comes to the photos, whether you're taking them yourself or a professional is doing it, first impressions are everything. It is much more likely you will attract viewers if your property looks clean, uncluttered and well looked after. After all, potential buyers want to imagine living in it. This is also the case when the viewings happen, so you want your property to look its best. We were recommended to have a nice bottle of wine and some nice bread in view in the kitchen, for example. Once the requested documents are all submitted and the photographs are received, the marketing can begin. This was confirmed after 1 week, so from submission of all documents at the beginning to confirmation of marketing, it took about 4 weeks. After this, it all becomes very real and you start seeing your property on various websites, and the viewings took place about 2 weeks later as enough expressions of interest had been collected. As our sale was through an independent company, we were asked not to be present and to leave the keys with their viewing agent. We were asked for details such as parking spaces, demise of attic, council tax band and other bill costs. Just over 1 week later, we received confirmation of approval of the purchaser. We were then asked to confirm a solicitor from a few selected options provided by the independent company. Within 5 days of confirming, we received the memorandum of sale. This is the confirmation of the agreement between the two parties. Not all solicitors deal with shared ownership, so it requires a shared ownership specialist solicitor, hence the list that was provided to us. We were required to fill in and send a number of documents as follows: a bank authority form confirming where the sale proceeds should be transferred to, a fittings and contents form detailing what is and isn't included with the property, any non-integrated items you would consider selling, and the price for these. It also needed us to send them an EPC, a lease, consent to dealing document, flood risk and radon document, gas safety certificate and anything pertaining to the age of the boiler, and any alterations documents, so the application form for alterations, confirmation of the approval for alterations, supporting documents and receipts for any work carried out by contractors. Once this was done, it was a case of checking in for news from the solicitor and responding to various emails for clarifications. As Christmas was closing in, and not to forget lockdowns, there were inevitable pauses. 2 months down the line from submitting the solicitor's forms, we had agreed on a completion date. 1 month further on, we received confirmation the buyer's solicitor was ready to exchange on the agreed completion date, which at this point was just over 2 weeks away. The buyer was passed our contact details and we made arrangements for completion day. Completion day essentially involves waiting for the money transfer to go through. Once this has been confirmed by your solicitor, you can hand over the keys and run for the hills or your next home. From submitting the resale form to completion, the whole process took 24 weeks. We had kept all documents related to our sale, alterations and receipts for any works and checks carried out during our ownership, which made it very easy to collate and provide the required information and documents. So a word of advice, don't throw anything away and keep these together. Think of it as a selling pack. In the next video, we'll be going through the costs incurred in selling. If you liked this video, gently click the like button, don't smash it or it probably won't work anymore. Also, why not subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon, as this gives you instant updates on our next video uploads. Thanks for watching and see you next time.